is just stone cold gangsta,
Yeah.
even if, I mean, I've seen people, kind of come at it from both sides. But anyway, we always want to, just, spend the first couple minutes talking, just amongst
Oh,
ourselves, really. Uh,
yeah.
how, how is your weekend? How you doing?
Oh, it's yeah, I'm fucking sick of my job.
Yeah.
Uh
Aren't we
yeah,
all?
yeah. But I don't know. I guess I can do it from home, which is nice, but I still feel like it takes up my whole life. Um,
That's what jobs do,
yeah, yeah.
you
It's
know,
it's fucking awful.
but God
I
forbid,
really miss um
what,
I really miss teaching music. It's just not
hmm
like, at least not
anything you make money with.
um yeah, I mean, I have I have been paid
Hmm.
to do it, but like, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like I know at least not in a way that I have found is like sustainable.
Hmm.
But yeah, I just fucking miss like having part of the day to myself and like didn't have to work for 8 straight hours and
Hmm.
just worked on a lot more creative shit. Uh and
Hmm.
I've been so fucking starved for that. Like since I started this job 3 years ago and or 4 years, Jesus fucking Christ.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I, I
Uh
mean, I also, I mean, I'm right there with you, dude. Just, it takes something from you.
yeah.
I mean, it takes something for you. I think by design. Like
Right.
I think that's the point. Is just to, you know, it sucks. It's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
it is the truth of the situation.
Yeah. Yeah,
I,
we gotta do like a 32-hour work week or something. Like because I have found that I am pretty like I can be pretty productive for 4 to 6 hours
hmm.
at work, but like fucking 8, I'm like, dude, you lost me a while ago.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I was even like I had like a deal with my job for a little while where I got to like I would take like a 45-minute lunch and I would leave 15 minutes early, and then they just like put the kibosh on that for like no reason, and it was just it's just like, all right, you got me here for the
Yeah.
last 15 minutes. Uh,
Yeah.
you guys, that's so important to you. Okay,
Yeah. Waiting around
yeah.
for something to happen.
Hmm. I actually had a fun weekend. I went to I actually didn't even get near Philadelphia, by the way. I went to I think the way that we came at it, just because where we live in Massachusetts, it was it was more of a straight shot to go through New York. Like we went through like New York, like a good chunk of like,
Yeah, upstate.
kind of upstate, mid-state ish. I think it went everything north of New York City is upstate, right? Is that the rule? It's just
Yep.
it's just like, oh, there's New York City and then there's upstate New York. There's no mid-state, right?
Right.
Um, but we we spent a lot of time going through New York, especially on the way down. And then we went into, I think we drove through the Poconos to visit. So like my wife's family was having a family reunion. It was and so we went, and so we stayed at this cabin in Kettle Creek, and where I had like no, it was like the first time in like forever, like where I was 100% off the grid. Like her family's house, like where kind of the venue was where we spent most of our days. They had Wi-Fi and there was like decent self-service there, but when we went back to the cabin where we were staying at night, there was no service at all for like 20 minutes. Basically all around, like 20-minute drive to get to service, and no Wi-Fi at all. which
Oh God.
which I was, bro. Let me tell you, man. I had to like kind of confront how fucking just how reliant I am,
Oh yeah.
dude. It was sad. Like at one point, I opened my phone and I just like opened Twitter and I saw that like a lot of the texts of different posts were like all like kind of cached still, so I could scroll down like a considerable amount of my feed, but I just wasn't getting any of the photos. I wasn't getting any of the fucking videos, right? I had to imagine what that looked like, but I could read the text of what people were saying, and so like I was just reading it, like some people like, oh, it sucks that Doja Cat's evil because she is one of the greatest performers of her generation and stuff, and with a clip, and it's just like I can just imagine. I have to imagine, but I can imagine Doja Cat being slaying here. It
Yeah.
was like the social media equivalent of like me like shooting up through like between my toes. It really felt like as I was doing it, it's like I am desperate, dude. I am
Yeah.
desperate. I
Yeah.
have a problem, man. I
Trying to
need
get
to.
high off the the whipped cream can or something like.
Yeah, dude. It was sad. I felt embarrassed for myself, but
Yeah, it's rough. Yeah,
mhm,
just it makes you realize how many times you're like, "Ooh, Facebook. Ooh, Facebook." Like,
yeah.
just how many times
hmm
do I need to check it?
Yeah, absolutely. But it was nice getting back home though. It was just like, thank God. I mean, the cabin and the cabin where we stayed, it was probably my biggest gripe about the weekend, just because the cabin where we stayed, like, also like it was this weird thing where they were like, we don't have cleaning crews. You have to clean and you have to like sweep and mop this place before you leave, and it was just like,
Yeah.
like I was trying to tell my wife, it's like, if we like this was not far off, like cost wise, from what I assume a hotel would cost, like would be,
Yeah.
and I, you know what I'm saying, and
Is that an
the
Airbnb?
hotel was like a maid service,
Yeah.
um, it's like kind of like Airbnb, like they're like like I mean, and there was also one key for. It was me, my wife, and then her sister and her brother-in-law, and like God, like there's one key. Like they only had one key. So at one point, my wife and I got locked out of the cabin because they had the key and they took off. And it was just like,
Great.
it was just, I was just, I don't know, man. I don't, I don't love this. I don't love the feeling, the helplessness. It's just,
Yeah.
Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
It's very sleek. La Quinta. It's just you get your key card, and
Yeah. I think we undervalued hotels, our generation.
oh,
Uh
absolutely.
we we took the bait on that Airbnb shit and it fucking ruined the world.
I mean, I think that like Uber and Lyft, part of it why it became so popular, because I think that there were clearly like kind of quality of life upgrades to like the taxi world that needed to happen, right? Like I think
Yeah.
like having like a dedicated app and stuff for your taxi, and being able to like rate it, and I think like a lot of that shit was just innovations that were always coming for fucking the
Yeah.
taxi industry. I think Airbnb is just in every way a downgrade to the hotel system. I can't
Yeah.
think of a single way that Airbnb, outside of like maybe some cool places get to be hotels that maybe weren't, but that's very low compared to just all the ways in which Airbnb has just made the world of hotel, and just kind of everybody's lives a little worse with the way that it's disrupted the system.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like because it also fucked up the housing market.
Hmm.
Um, which is just and it's like, what's the how could we have avoided that? Literally just regulate it. Just
Hmm.
to have the government do anything. And
Hmm.
like I bet they have something like Airbnb in China because that's the
Hmm.
case with like most shit we have. there's some version of it in China, but the government's like,
Mhm.
you're not allowed to fuck people over. And if you do, you're going to disappear for a few weeks and then you're going to come back with a newfound love for the Communist Party and you're going to tell the world like,
God bless. God bless. Okay, so all right, let's get started. Let's jump into some stuff. How's that sound?
yeah.
Okay,
So
so I know.
Mamdani,
Let's just watch. Have you ever just watched a man cook for 2 straight minutes?
ugh,
Have you? Okay, you want to pull this up? I'm still not. Okay, I'm still not the guy. Oop, swap it around. You are the
oh,
big
am I?
screen.
Why does it
There
do
we
that? God
go.
damn.
I don't know, man. It's an imperfect system. Okay, so here is just Zoran Mamdani, who always said, one of the big things he said that got him some attention on the campaign trail, right? Is I would arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
and I mean, hey, at least here he makes it seem like they actually like crunched the numbers.
Yeah, yeah. I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah, he's just but instead we get the 2 minute long video where our boy just stands on business.
Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal, the architect of a horrific genocide against the Palestinian people. He is responsible for the killing of more than 73,000 people, for the maiming of tens of thousands of children, as those who survive undergo amputation without anesthesia, for the targeting of neonatal hospitals and maternity care centers, denying newborns even the chance to live, for the countless people he starved as he blocked food and humanitarian aid from reaching them, for the gunning down of hundreds of aid workers and journalists. And just last month, the UN confirmed that Palestinian children continue to be deliberately targeted and killed by Israeli armed forces, more than 8 months after the so-called ceasefire. The list goes on and on, all as we, as Americans, pay for the bombs that do the killing. There is a reason the International Criminal Court issued a warrant for his arrest. As human beings, we have spent generations building a shared understanding that there are crimes so grave they offend all of humanity. Anyone, with their eyes, with their heart, with their conscience, should recognize the devastation he has wrought and understand that he belongs before a court of law. As I've said, I agree with the ICC that Benjamin Netanyahu should be arrested and tried for his crimes, as I do for anyone else charged by the ICC. My administration has reviewed every avenue available under applicable law to determine whether New York City could execute the International Criminal Court's arrest warrant if Benjamin Netanyahu came here. It is clear that we do not have the independent legal authority to enforce this warrant. The federal government, however, does, and I call on them to join the ICC and execute this warrant. And I want to be equally clear. Benjamin Netanyahu is not welcome in New York City, nor is any other war criminal at large. While we cannot end the genocide on our own, we can decide whether our silence will become another weapon, and we can examine every tool we have to defend the humanity and dignity of all people. That is my commitment to you.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Like, I think I think that was exactly the way to do it. Like, you
Mhm.
you look into it. Can I actually do this? Okay, I can't, but I'm sticking to the fucking message, and I'm saying, hey, Trump, you could do it, and you should.
Yeah, he's
Because
not going
yeah,
to.
no, of course
Why
not.
would
But
why would he arrest his boss?
right, you can't arrest the real president.
Yeah, exactly. You can't arrest that guy. That guy signs the checks.
The checks that we fund somehow come
Yeah,
back to
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've seen takes across the political spectrum. Of course, there are just a bunch of people that just say he's not a war criminal, and just all that
yeah,
stuff. You know, whatever, right? I've seen that a bunch. I've also saw somebody, actually, it was somebody on Substack in some comment section, was just like, yeah, some leftist holding up, he could arrest him if he wanted to. He's just holding up, he's choosing to, enforce the bourgeoisie laws or whatever, like is.
Like, what do you want him to do? This is the thing. It's like, there's other shit I don't like about, decisions he's made. Like, I don't love that fucking Jessica Tisch is still the police commissioner, but like,
Yeah,
we're
like
talking about,
right?
yeah, but we're talking about like entrenched political power and a small army of a fucking police force that I'm sure a lot of them fucking hate him. Like, it's just like when people say this shit, I'm like, what do you want him to do? Like, immediately upon entering office, go to war with the federal government, the NYPD, and Israel?
Yeah.
Like, you want him? That's what you want him to do? Like, are you insane?
It's clear that like he is, whether people want to admit it or not, right? Politics is like a game you got to play, like the Game of Thrones, right? Like you're literally playing the literal Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah.
You have to build political power. You can't, like he did, he got in and he won, but he has made sure he's been very deliberate in particular about things he's done, right? Like, and he's done, like, people were mad that he didn't let, was it Che Alsi primary Hakeem Jeffries, right? And people are mad, about, just random other shit, right? But I think that he has been very smart in the way that he, promotes himself. We were talking, on a previous iteration of this stream where, I think that he is, maybe the best politician I've seen in my lifetime. I think like just the smartest when it comes to, I think Donald Trump is the most successful politician I've seen in my lifetime, but
Yeah,
I think he
so
is
far.
but I don't think outside of Donald Trump and just the way that dude has just bent reality to his fucking will, in a horrific way, right?
Yeah.
I do think that Zoran has very, very deftly maneuvered, and I think this is part of it. I think this is, I think he's making a big show of this because, I think he knows it's going to rumble online, right? It's going to be, it's going to be a viral moment for him. Yet another viral moment, which he just does effortlessly, right? Dude jumps into a pool in a full suit and just, and then you get, what was it, the New York Post, right? Did you see the New York Post article? It was like Zoran Mamdani, like jumps into pool,
he broke the rules.
In violation
code.
of pool dress code laws. It's like, you guys care about dress code? Like,
right,
I have seen I've seen you guys like hand wave pedophilia. Like you.
He's the first true like content creator politician.
Yeah, he really is. And I mean, is he officially Gen Z, right? He's Gen Z.
Is he? I think he's a little older.
Or is he millennial? Is he millennial?
I think he is. He's like 35, I want to say.
All right. Well, he's whatever he is. Goddamn, he is. He is good. I mean, he is smart. And I think that this is, and maybe and I don't have the political mind that he does, and I don't have the political team behind me that he does, right? So, I assume that there's some ends to this. I don't think he would do this if he didn't have, and I think that, as I think the people that he endorsed, a couple months back, right, were all very deliberate. I think that he is very deliberate in the ways that he is building power, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Well, because
especially given, and you can say what you meant, but this will be a good transition into this, especially now that this is dropped.
Yeah.
But what were you gonna say?
Oh, just that, like, yeah, it's a movement. It's a an actual cohesive, like, organization that has
Hmm.
specific goals, and that's like something we're not used to here because we just haven't seen that from at least the Democratic Party. I mean, the Republicans have had
Hmm.
like a 50-year plan to like to like do
Hmm.
everything they're doing now. And it's like,
Yeah.
I fucking hate it, but again, it's like you said about Trump. It's like they're successful at it because they
Hmm.
are a movement. The Democrats are not. Uh, well, I mean, I guess
I mean,
they're
I think
kind
that
of
I think that if you consider that they're part of that same movement, then
right. Yeah. Yeah.
that they
They're
are
yeah.
just the guys holding down the arms and the legs,
Right.
so that the Republicans can just do whatever they want to do, right? Like
Yeah.
they're part of it. That their wins are they're both winning,
Yeah.
but but yeah, so let's read some of this. Ken Klippenstein, who I really like. I really love Ken Klippenstein. I think
Yeah,
this
he's
guy
good.
is brilliant. I know some people are mad at him about his Graham Plattner coverage, but I maintain that that was I maintain that he has nothing to apologize for. But
Yeah.
yeah, so it's after political terrorism summit, U.S. names 43 Americans plus groups. The Rubio report on Cuban subversion names Zoran Mamdani, Amy Goodman, Hassan Piker, and orgs like DSA and the Amazon Labor Union, right? And so there's this. Look at this bitch. Look at this fugly bitch. And just and so yeah, yeah, Marco Rubio leads the resurgence of political terrorism summit last week, and so it says a new State Department report on Cuba's campaign of subversion against the United States is a virtual government blacklist against left-wing Americans and groups. And so we're going to end up on a list because we're doing this. And it says,
Yep.
"Link, yeah, you and I, we are fucked. We are starting this at the right time. Not soon enough to get popular at all, but I think just in time that we can end up in a gulag."
We can get on the list. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be absolutely on the list. And so it's a link to last week's Rubio-led summit on quote unquote political terrorism or far left terrorism. Ooh. The report is unusually candid about the government's targets. Many of the most significant upheavals in recent American political history, from the George Floyd riots to the rise of Antifa to the explosion of pro-terrorist activism on American college campuses, can be linked in some way, shape, or form to Cuban influence. It was Cuba all along.
That's
They
so
removed the mask.
What?
They removed the mask, and it was Fidel Castro with a cigar. It was
Oh
just
my God. If
should have
only.
known.
God,
And then,
that's so stupid. Like, what the fuck are they talking? This is the thing that drove me crazy about, like,
yeah.
because this was something with the like pro-Palestine movement too, that
Mhm.
like they kept saying like, oh, you're fucking in league with Hamas and all this shit. I'm like, I haven't talked to anyone in Hamas, but all of
Yeah,
you
bro.
motherfuckers have like dual citizenship, or like you were in the IDF, or you
Mhm.
like bring Netanyahu over to fucking do podcasts. Like, what the fuck are we
Mhm.
talking about? Who's under foreign influence?
Yeah, absolutely. Getting Netanyahu on an episode of Snack Homies. Uh, okay. As for who these supposed agents of Cuban influence are, the report is remarkably explicit. It names people like Ben Cohen of Ben and Jerry's ice cream fame. What? Half of Ben and Jerry's?
Yeah.
I'm committing
What
treason
happened to
every time I
Jerry?
have. What happened to Jerry? Jerry's a fucking coward, man.
Yeah, he
Jerry,
defected to
Jerry,
Cuba. He's
yeah, Jerry.
with Asada Shakur. He broke her out.
Absolutely. Okay, so Mayor Zoran Mamdani and Karen Bass, who Zoran is Trump's bae. He's turning
Right.
heel on bae.
Yeah,
You know?
I don't.
And
I don't think
Karen
Trump's
Bass.
making a lot of decisions these days.
Yeah, no, man. No, he's just busy filling up diapers. And then and Karen Bass, media figures like Amy Goodman and Hassan Piker. No, not my bae. And organizations like the Democratic Socialists of America and the Amazon Labor Union. The implication is clear. Secretary of State Marco Rubio thinks there should be a modern-day blacklist of the political left in America. In fact, the report explicitly mentions the blacklists McCarthy-era investigations and prosecutions of the 1950s and their effectiveness at dismembering the Communist Party USA. The 100-page report titled Cuba, the Capital of 21st Century Communism was released this morning, and we could download it right here if we wanted it. And then an entire section is dedicated to the Democratic Socialists of America. And they say that the Democratic Socialists of America serves as a particularly potent illustration of the ideological victory of Cuba's effort to position itself as the spiritual capital of third worldist radicalism. This represents a significant advance for the Cuban influence operation, and that Havana no longer needs to rely solely on intelligence penetration or asset cultivation to exert influence over the United States.
They're just mad that the CIA tried to kill Castro 600 times and failed.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, man. I mean, it is just, it is.
It's so funny because, like, is Cuba not already the capital of third worldist radicalism? Like, that's kind of their thing, man. Like, you can't put that label on them. That's just how it is.
You know, and third worldism, that wasn't their idea. You forced that on them, man.
Right. Yeah.
They would have been a first world. They would have been first world if you hadn't fucking just strangled them for, you know, the majority of their lifespan.
It's just like, look what happened in China. It's like Nixon was like, you know what, let's be cool with China. And then China was like, all right, yeah, capitalists, you want to come invest here? And then everyone was like, oh, sweet, we can go fucking pillage China again. And then China was like, no, actually, we're gonna fucking tax your ass, and we're gonna build up our country. And China's like a fucking utopia. Like, I mean, not utopia, but like, it's fucking amazing. They are like, infrastructure wise, in terms of eradicating poverty and illiteracy. Like, it is just unreal. And you know, people will call it communist when they are talking about how they hate it, but then you talk about how well it's doing, and then they say, but that's because they went to capitalism. Like, okay.
Okay, let's continue. So, though the report concedes that DSA was not shaped by the direct and tangible influence of the Cuban government, and that it has organic ideological commitments, it insists that none of that is to say that the group has no ties to the Cuban regime and its influence network. Instead, the report points to the group's delegations to Cuba as evidence of Cuban influence. Hassan Piker! Oh!
That is such a fucking incoherent sentence.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
make something up, dude. Just be like, oh yeah, like there's Cuban agents like embedded throughout DSA. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, well, they're not exactly in charge of creating DSA, but also DSA went there. So like,
And so, okay, so it says, for more than 6 decades, the Cuban regime has been the leading sponsor of radical leftism and third worldism in the United States. Yeah, bro. Third worldism. That's my religion right there. I practice third worldism. You know, I just like I piss in a bucket every night. Okay, and then Secretary of State Marco Rubio said in a post on X/Twitter, linking to the report, and then he says, and then Ken says, whatever you think of DSA, it is hardly fringe. It claims as members prominent politicians like New York Mayor Zoran Mamdani, and has helped to nominate dozens of politicians like him into office in recent years. Senator Bernie Sanders identifies as a democratic socialist, having himself popularized the term, as do Reps Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Rashida Tlaib. who are card-carrying members, as well as Mamdani. The Cuba report follows last week's Rubio-led International Summit on Political Terrorism. That summit, as I reported, introduced the new term far-left terrorism, abbreviated FLT, not nearly as cool as a BLT, or as delicious, a term it never really defined, and then a White House press release summarizing the event said that far-left extremism will be treated with the same seriousness and ferocity the world has long reserved for jihadist terrorism. And speaking at the summit, Rubio, okay, wait, what were you going to say?
Just the jihadist terrorism, which which we've apparently been at war against for 25 years. And
yeah, man, it's been a long 25 years of fighting these jihadists.
And we haven't fucking done anything. We've only made people more angry and created more fucking terrorists.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it said, speaking of the summit, Rubio vowed that further new terrorist designations for left-wing groups would be coming soon. So I think we've read enough of this article. We get the gist. Right, I've seen a lot of speculation that all of this is just smoke that they're creating because they want to invade Cuba. They want to invade Cuba.
Well, yeah,
they want to bend it to their will. They want to finally finish the job, right? And, bring in Cuba. Cuba's the new Puerto Rico. It's a state that's not a state, that it's just, and Marco Rubio wants to be the governor of Cuba. He's going to be the governor of Cuba. And that is probably what's going to happen. And also it is a little alarming, right? Because you do have all of these democratic socialists and leftists running and kind of making headway and shit, and it really does feel like they are, instead of instead of like beating them at the ballot box, it really does feel like the Trump administration is just going to straight up, round them up.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to predict this shit because, look, they're doing a lot of damage with ICE. But at the same time, ICE is like on momentum from like Bush creating it, Obama ramping it up, Trump ramping it up again, Biden continuing Trump, 1.0. And it's like, sure, there's a lot of damage being done there, but also we were told we're creating a mass deportation machine, and they haven't been able to do that. Or it's not that important to them to do it, and they're really just, doing theater by like cracking down on any brown person they can pin something on. And I think it's similar here, where it's like, I don't know. I do fear that we're going to have a Germany situation where no matter how big of a socialist movement there is, one day they're just going to do a bunch of stuff and we'll be, it'll just be gone. That's what happened in Germany, and it was way bigger in Germany. So, I don't know. It's just hard to predict where it's going, but it's like,
I think that I mean, we'll see how the midterms go, as we talked about last week, right? When we watched, that Trump speech that multiple channels, like NBC, I think ABC, I think CNN, like a bunch of stations just refused to run it, right? I think didn't CBS refuse to run it, or am I imagining that?
Oh, I don't know. That would be surprising. Yeah,
it would be surprising, seeing as Trump's got one of his bottom bitches running the company there. But I think that, I think that they on some level understand that they are historically unpopular, and
Yeah.
that, a lot of people who were swayed by the promise of MAGA, right? The promise of make this country a great place again, right? Are seeing that, like, oh, we've put him back in the driver's seat and things are worse now. Things are worse. Things are tangibly worse. I mean, they pump out as
Yeah.
much they pump out as much propaganda as they can, right? I mean, the White House will post shit that's just, you know, provably false sometimes, in my opinion, right? Where it's just like Trump has the highest approval rating of any president in history. It's just like, I don't know, man. I felt like the the vibe was a lot better with other guys in my memory, right? But I think that they are very much telling you what they are about to do and how much scarier they are willing to make shit. And it's going to
Yeah.
be interesting, if are we going to just once again find ourselves, in a situation where it's just like, first they came for the socialists and I did, like, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I already,
Well, yeah.
and I already know, based on, some of, my threads algorithm, right? Like, are the Yvette Nicole Browns of the world going to like stand, or a lot of like, liberals, right? Your kind of your centrist liberals, your destinies, right? Just, what I'm saying? Like your people that are, I'm proudly middle of the road. I'm a good liberal. Yada yada yada, right? Are they going to
Yeah.
cheer as all the socialists get rounded up, not realizing that it's like, okay, well, you're next on the chopping block,
Right. They make no
know,
distinction between us. Like,
they were, if you recall, right, they were perfectly happy to call both Biden and Kamala socialists,
yeah.
who are
Yeah.
who were very much not socialists. And I would argue that Zoran and Bernie are only kind of socialists, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like, is it only socialism if if it comes from the socialist region of France? No,
Yeah.
if it if it like if you like, do a revolution and like institute a one party state and like, I
Mhm.
don't know. I just think like, because what a lot of like hardcore communists or whatever will call DSA and people like Mamdani, Bernie, AOC is social democrats, and that's supposed to
Mhm.
be a pejorative, like, oh, you're like, you're pretty much just a liberal, but you have like some social
It's
policies and
diet
shit.
socialism.
But
It's
like,
just, it's
right,
just, it's
yeah, I
soft.
mean,
It's
you
like,
could,
it's downy soft. It's
yeah, you could say that, but like, it's like the reason social democracy happened in like fucking Norway and shit is because of socialists. Like the
mhm.
social democratic parties of Europe were created by socialists. It was like a catch-all socialist
It's a
party.
compromise
And
essentially.
right. Yeah. And it was like but the idea was like, this is the first step to creating
Mhm.
socialism. It didn't really work that way for various like historical reasons. That doesn't mean it can never do that. And I think,
Mhm.
a lot of the shit that liberals take credit for, like, public services and public works, it's like, sorry,
Mhm.
that was fucking socialists in like Wisconsin who came up with that shit here.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, man.
yeah, but I just put in the chat a
Yeah.
link to, because you mentioned Trump's
Do you want to pull that one up?
unpopularity. Yeah. Um, This is Harry Emden.
Okay.
Um, where the fuck is this?
Also, have
Okay,
you shared your screen?
there we go. Screen share. Um, these are horrible numbers. Okay, have you seen this guy Harry Enton on
No.
CNN with the polls? Trump, because like his brain doesn't work, calls him Harry Emden. So like I frequently forget that his name is actually Harry Enton. But
Mhm.
but anyway, here's this. Oh, you want to play a
Going.
game?
Yeah. Oh shit. Star Trek Fleet Command.
Hell yeah.
See, your targeted ads are way better than mine.
On the president's
Mine are
popularity,
these for some,
but not as far as the president is concerned. Fresh like a daisy. With us now, Chief Data Analyst Harry N. This doesn't smell good.
No, the cake is getting baked, and what's being baked ain't daisies, I'll tell you that much. I mean, just take a look here. Okay, Trump's not approving. You know, a lot of stuff has happened over the last few months. Has any of that really lifted Trump from record lows for these given pollsters or second record lows? Not really. I mean, just take a look here. The Washington Post, his all-time lowest was minus 25 points back in April in terms of his net approval rating. It's approval minus disapproval. Now it's the second worst, tied for the second worst of all time at minus 24 points. CNBC was at his second lowest level at minus 18 points, and now he's at the record low for him in CNBC, minus 19 points. When you put it together, what essentially is going on is there are a lot of events in the world, but this cake, as we get closer and closer to the midterm elections, is starting to look at least a little bit baked here.
All right. I mean, I suppose you could say.
I guess that's it. But yeah, it's really like the Trump and the Republicans and the Democrats are at just fucking like abysmal lows. And it's gotten to this point that like there is such an opening there. It's similar to like the UK, you know, like they keep like creating new parties that just immediately get traction because everyone fucking hates the Labor and Tories so much. And it's really crazy. DSA is doing a lot of good. I just hope that they understand the moment we're in and that they have the ability right now to run like fucking 50 congressional candidates across the country.
Oh yeah, I mean, and we're seeing because you posted a link. Actually, this connects to that one here. I'll share the screen. Okay, because yet again, right? Like, if you want to share mine now. Yet again, right? Because the big thing, right, that everybody loves to mention when you talk about Zoran, right?
Mm-hmm.
This freaking ad, I hate this ad. Okay, let's actually let's zoom out a little bit then. Okay, so Democratic Socialist leads Wisconsin Democrat gubernatorial field, and so, but it's big city politics, New York's big city politics,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like fucking, that's fucking everything I see people, the fucking centrist cope, right? Is what I'm going to call it from here on out, right? Like the centrist fucking cope, where it's just like, oh, that shit ain't gonna fly in middle America, right? Meanwhile, and we're gonna get to Troy Jackson in a moment, right? But you're seeing, we just saw Troy Jackson kind of pull off a fucking, red wedding in like, in a socialist red wedding in Maine last weekend, right? And then I mean, Talarico is very, very, I don't know if he's like fully socialist, right? But for Texas, he is straight up a socialist, if we're grading on a Texas curve, right? And so a new poll has Democratic Socialist Francesca Hong leading in the field in Wisconsin's Democratic gubernatorial primary, although a plurality of respondents were undecided. The poll, conducted by blah, 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 from July 8th to 16th, found that 26% of 430 registered Democrats backed Hong, a member of the Wisconsin State Assembly since 2021. Former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes received 15% support. Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, who dropped out of the race last week after polling concluded, received 11%. Joel Brennan received 2%, and yada, yada, yada. When Rodriguez's supporters' votes were transferred to their second choice, Barnes cut into Hong's lead slightly, receiving 18% to her 27%, but 48% of respondents were undecided, with less than 3 3 weeks remaining before the August 11th primary, and you know,
Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, like Francesca is criminally underrated. There's been very little coverage of this, probably by design.
Yeah.
But she is very good. She is dyed in the wool. She is a fucking like true believer. And
Mhm.
again, Wisconsin is where like the like American socialists in office really first took off. This was
Mhm.
where I think it was a lot of like German immigrants. That's who, ended up in the Midwest. Um, and they had come to the US after a failed violent revolution in
Mhm.
Germany. And they were like, maybe we'll wait on trying that again.
Mhm.
let's run for office and build sewers and shit. They are known as the sewer socialists. So this
Mhm.
is where it all fucking began, and it's time. She's coming back to take it back. Um,
I wonder if
but
she's
yeah,
gonna do. Hasn't she done stuff with Hassan?
yeah. Hassan, Mike from PA. She's like,
Mm.
no shame. She's just
Yeah.
fucking doing it.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I think like people are gonna just put you in the same fucking, bucket as them, right?
Yeah.
You might
Which
as
is what's interesting too is like I think you were reading something there about Mandela Barnes and cutting into her lead and all this shit. They
hmm
they keep trying like Bernie rat fuck shit like they did in 2020 on all of these
hmm
people. Mamdani with like Cuomo running as an independent and all of that. And it's just not. It doesn't seem to be working. Like
Yeah,
you know
I mean, if it was like that if the person you're trying to beat isn't like literal guilty of sexual assault, it's very hard to destroy their campaign. Oh, can we switch the screen? But
oh, whoops.
you're the big one. Yeah, but so Ed brings us to Troy Jackson. So which is actually, so when I was off the grid, right? Anytime we were driving, because we would drive, it was like a 25-minute drive between where we were staying and where like the family reunion venue was, and we just kept driving. We probably made that drive like a good like 5 or 6 times all weekend, right? As we just kept going back and forth, right? And I think it was Saturday night we were driving, and literally like once we got into service, anytime I got into service, it was just text message, text message, right? And then, but it was just like, little like, like messages, like it was like, alerts like, Troy Jackson posted this, and it was all like fucking, oh man, he just swept Cumberland County, right? Like, oh man, and it was just like, fuck yeah, like okay, like the
Yeah.
delegates seem to be doing the right thing, right? And then, of course, Monday morning, right? Or Tuesday or whatever fucking day, like, you wake up and then all of a sudden it's just The Hill and CNN and all these things. It's just, oh, dude, they just dropped the Oppo research, man. It's just
Yeah.
trying to scare the delegates into backing a fucking, like literally, like all these things are like, if Maine could pick a moderate. Like if Maine,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, hey
Yeah.
Maine,
Moderates.
hey
Moderates.
Maine, hey, hey,
Yeah.
hey, you
Moderates
know?
never have problematic pasts.
Yeah, no, never ever, never ever. It's just, it's so Troy Jackson, um, and yeah, so they got the title of this article. This is the first one I saw. Democrats have a real shot in Maine, but Troy Jackson could ruin it. Oh no! What did he do? How many of his ex-girlfriends did they interview for this one? Maine Democrats should have learned from Graham Plattner's downfall. Instead, it is possible that they will repeat the same mistake, nominating a controversial populist with a checkered and divisive past rather than a moderate who could draw broad support. It's just it's like, oh my god, they admit it. Like I
it's
think
like, dude,
it's
this
like, I
drives
think
me
you
insane.
should leave meme, you know, like they admit
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Dude, it drives me crazy because this hasn't been true for so long. Like,
Yeah.
fucking Hillary Clinton lost 10 years ago. And then like Biden won because, first of all, because Trump kept tripping over his dick with COVID, but like also because Biden like bent to the pressure a little bit and ran a little bit to the left, just a nudge to the left, and then Kamala didn't do that.
Scotched, yeah.
And
then
she fucking lost it. Like, these people, they keep losing to fucking socialists, and then they're like, oh, but we shouldn't run socialists because they can't win. What are you talking about?
Yeah. And so indeed, the former Maine Senator Troy Jackson has jumped to the front of the crowded race as the left-wing candidate ready to carry the movement Plattner built across the finish line. Jackson, who dominated the weekend's county delegate conventions, is now virtually guaranteed to be the Democratic nominee, with the left-wing candidate hoping to carry Plattner's movement across the finish line. They said that twice. Is this AI? This is bad writing. This is straight up bad writing.
It probably is.
They said the same thing twice. Like The Hill, or if you're watching, who wrote this?
Yeah, I expect high quality reporting from The Hill.
2 people, you had 2 motherfuckers get the fucking byline on this, and neither of them caught the fucking across the finish line twice. You know, like if this, listen, why am I going over my Substack posts harder than The Hill is with their articles? Okay?
Right? Yeah.
You know, how do you expect to crush this progressive movement? You can't even fucking self-edit. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
right?
really.
And so anyway, so polling is scarce, but a survey from Schism Strategies shows that voters who voted in the June primary preferred Jackson to Dr. Nirav Shah, 40% to 23%. Nominating Jackson would be problematic given Maine's key role in Democrats' hopes to take back the Senate. Formerly a lawyer and president of the Maine Senate, Jackson has been boosted by endorsements from Senator Bernie Sanders, Our Revolution Organization, Ro Khanna, both former backers of Plattner. The decisions by Sanders and Khanna to immediately back Jackson are curious, given Jackson's prior positions. A former Republican, Jackson is similar average working class persona to Plattner, including being a union member, but critically, he also has a long history of positions that should be anathema, I can't pronounce things, to all Democrats, particularly these progressive heavyweights. As recently as 2022, while a state senator, Jackson authored legislation restricting non-Americans from coming to Maine for employment, even if they had legal work permits. Moreover, in 2009, Jackson voted against marriage equality. It was fucking 20 years ago, man.
Yeah.
Like, fucking.
Yeah, so did Obama. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, and act like if Obama, right, if they pulled, if they removed term limits, right, and like, oh, Trump's running a 3rd time, right, or a 4th time, really, right, and then, you know what I'm saying? Is he also a Nazi war criminal? Oh, Dito A is back. Welcome back, Dito A. Yeah,
our biggest fan.
Our biggest fan. Hey, I mean, he's the only one who's been here, or they've already. I mean, I don't know the gender, but they're the only person who have been here every time, right? So welcome back. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, I hope Troy Jackson is also a Nazi war criminal, just because that's exactly what Graham Plattner was. He was a Nazi war criminal. I mean, I think like anyway, so he voted against marriage equality in Maine State Senate, according to a report in the New York Post. Were those not enough? The article notes that Jackson maintained for years that abortion should be illegal even when a mother's life is in danger, and in 2011 and 2013 voted for bills that would have curtailed a woman's right to choose. Which, I mean, all this stuff is alarming, but again, if a moderate Democrat who had the exact same past was running, right, they would be like, oh, but people can change, though, like they're they had the come to Jesus moment, right?
Dude, Henry Cuellar from fucking Texas, the rep, like he's still like kind of anti-abortion, like he hasn't even changed. And like Nancy Pelosi goes and fucking campaigns with him.
Yeah, of course. And so Jackson has argued that he is the politically closest to Plattner, and therefore he is the natural substitute, a belief which is also responsible for Sanders and Khanna's endorsements. During Thursday's debate, Jackson doubled down on this theme, avoiding bashing Plattner, attempting to position himself as the working class champion. That argument is deeply flawed. Jackson's impending victory in this weekend's nominating convention would leave Maine and the Democratic Party back where they were with Plattner, perhaps even worse off. Worse than Plattner?
Really?
I don't know, man. I mean, if this guy, if here's the thing: if Troy Jackson is credibly accused of sexual assault, then maybe yes, maybe I agree with you. But as far as I've seen, none of this dude's girlfriends have come forward. So I think we're in a better place because Plattner was credibly accused of sexual assault. So and so true, the controversies surrounding Plattner and Jackson are not equivalent. Yeah. Oh, you think?
Okay.
But their impact on the electorate may well be, as evidence is beginning to suggest. During an MS Now interview, a clip was played of an independent Maine voter saying, Jackson is not a progressive. He voted against so many things like gay marriage, abortion. Now he wants to say he's progressive before saying if Jackson is the nominee, he would vote for Collins. What? So he's not as pro-abortion as he says he is. So I'm going to vote for the woman who helped destroy Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that reminds me of that line from The West Wing. I know John Kennedy. You, Sarah, know John Kennedy. Then follow that up with like, I fucking hate him, and you're great.
So I don't know if let me see. I want to see. I haven't read the full article. Okay, they literally just say Democrats' best chances in Maine would come from a more moderate candidate. Shut the fuck up.
Based on what? They tried that.
Yeah.
Janet Mills lost to Plattner. Fucking. Was it Janet Mills last time? I think it was some other centrist last time who fucking lost to Collins. What are we talking about?
There was a centrist who ran and was obliterated, literally was the sitting governor of the state and wasn't popular enough to finish her fucking primary campaign. And I was like, this is not based in any sort of tangible reality. You know what I'm saying? And it's just these people talking out of their fucking asses. And why should we listen to any of it? So I don't think they get into, maybe I'm missing it. I don't want to read any more of the article because it's just making me fucking mad, right? But they also talk about how there's this incident going around, like there's the water bottle incident. You've heard about this, right?
Yeah.
The Troy Jackson water bottle incident, right? Where this dude fucking apparently got real heated during some squabble inside the Maine Senate and threw a water bottle. Earlier, it was said that it hit a woman. And then that was retracted officially. That was officially retracted, right? But he did throw. It was confirmed he threw a water bottle because he was mad, and But they don't talk about. I still don't know what the actual argument was because depending on what it was, right? I might have agreed with him. What were they arguing about that he got mad enough to throw a water bottle? I want to know the context.
I feel it was. I think I heard this. Like it was like something about labor. Like I'm like, yeah, good. I'm glad he's fucking passionate. Like, should you throw water bottles near people? Probably not. That's not good. But like, what he did this fucking like years ago, and now we're supposed to be like, oh, never mind. He's just like the rapist. like what?
The floor did not consent to being hit by the water bottle.
And do it just like you're saying with like, if a centrist did this, like how much did we hear about Amy Klobuchar being like, like throwing shit at her staff and being like, wash my comb, bitch. I want to use it as a fork. Like what the fuck? Like,
yeah, but it's like, but we want somebody like that in Washington, right? Like that's the spin there. where it's just like you want somebody who's passionate, who blah 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 blah, right? But if they
Yeah.
want to give healthcare though, it's like I don't know about their temper. They're probably, he's probably going to get to the Senate and just start punching people, Just Troy Jackson is going to be Jackie Channing out the moment he just Capitol Hill, man. It's just it's just so like bald-faced and blatant and just so dumb and depressing and
Yeah, I'm sick of being talked to like a fucking baby. Like every fucking political argument is like it's also dumbed down and like, you support terrorists. And it's like, what okay, what are we talking about? Why are they doing terrorist attacks? Did something happen? Did the other people do something to them? Like, they are terrorists. How dare you? You must condemn. Like, what are we doing? This is baby shit.
Yeah,
I'm so tired of it.
is.
Like I saw a and it's fine for interviews with politicians to be contentious, like they should sometimes. But like I saw it was like a Rolling Stone interview with Mondani, and the guy was like talking like a fucking adult, like the guy interviewing him, and I was like, this is so nice to just hear someone be like, okay, so what is your philosophy of governing? Like, what, why
just
this, why
treating
that?
it
Like,
seriously. Yeah,
yeah,
just taking it seriously. Just not trying to like fear monger it, right?
right, yeah. God, I'm I'm so fucking over it, man. It's like, if you read at all, if you like read 2 books about politics, you realize how fucking stupid American politics is, and like how our media is just like go to sleep, little baby. Like, okay.
I mean, it is very blatant. It is just incredibly. It's and it's like, and so many people see it too, right? Like so many people recognize it, right? But yet it's just still fucking. It still happens, because just all these fucking billionaires in power, just they get. They can just do whatever they want. They can just say, they can create their own reality. It's just like the White House. We were talking about, the White House and their messaging, right? They can just say fake things.
Yeah.
And because they own this shit, right? They are, nobody can fucking tell them no. Nobody can tell them fucking,
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. Okay. But yeah, so I want to do this. Is there I'm setting up the next section. Is there anything else we want to talk about? We want to gripe about this before we move on. I mean, it's fucked. I don't know how much I can say about it. It's just
right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think, I think that's part of why, like, DSA is resonating with people, because they're talking to people like adults, and they're saying like, I recognize your problems. And not only that, I actually want to do something about it, and watch me. I will. And then they do.
People. I mean, if the only thing that you've seen is D-Toa's fucking comments in our stream, you would think that democratic socialism is extremely unpopular, but
Right.
It's just that line of propaganda is only just working with this one person super hard. That a lot of people, right? It's just, we've been scaremongered, to fear socialism and fear socialist style policies our entire life, but then but you exist in this world, right? Plattner wasn't even DSA. You're absolutely right, baby. I'm glad you're paying attention. Glad you're paying attention. It was a quiz and you passed. I don't think he's a socialist either. I don't think so either. He's a mercenary. We don't believe it. My bullets are capitalists. Anyway,
Yeah.
maybe don't claim the Nazi, bro. Listen. Nobody's claiming Graham Plattner anymore, man. He is,
Right. I mean, because the thing is, like, it doesn't matter. Like the first of all, DSA didn't even
yeah.
claim him. They didn't endorse
Yeah,
him.
they
They were
the
like, yeah,
softest recommend. It was the.
right.
I mean, if you're voting, I mean, probably him, but
Yeah.
we didn't tell you to go.
Right. Well, it's like there's a distinction made. Maybe not by the public. I don't know, but like by DSA, by those of us on the left, between like, yeah, there's Zoran Mamdani, who is like a true believer in socialism, and this is his way of like starting to enact some of it. But then, and then you've got like Abdul El Sayed in Michigan, who is like who has been asked.
Himself a capitalist.
Yeah, he's been asked, like, are you a socialist? He's like, no, I believe in capitalism. We just have to do X, Y, and Z. And it's like, but the thing is, like, the policies are the same, and he will be an ally with AOC and with Bernie Sanders and whoever else. And it's like, again, are we doing socialism with these people? I don't know, but like, these are good policies, and they're actually, making an effort here, and it's
clear that like
yeah,
something has to change. It's just one doctor's we're all like one medical emergency away from just insane medical debt, and a lot of us just carry medical debt with us everywhere we go, just live in just fucking debt hell, right? It's just we've watched we've watched wages just stagnate. We've watched just the amount of millennials that own a home versus live with their parents is a staggering change from the generation before it, right? Like there is very clear ways in which the economy is set up to make our millennials and Gen Z's generations fail. People are getting wise to that. Even people who have been staunch Republicans, staunch leftists, right? Like even my mother, who was very much for Trump in the last election, right, is now because of just how it's gotten so bad. If shit has gotten so expensive, the world has gotten so shitty, right, that even she is waking up and acknowledging and copping to some things, right? And she sees how her sons, none of her sons can afford to own a home. She lives with one of her sons, has to live with her just because even though he works 40 hours a week, does not make enough to support himself in an apartment. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just things need to change, and people are seeing that. And so you can't scare people with the socialism shit anymore, because it's not as scary as it was even 10 years ago, man. Even 10 years ago, because of just like, even I literally a few years ago, there was a comedian in Boston, right, who actually reached out to me, and we had a dust up online, like maybe like 5-ish years before that, because we had an argument about Medicare for all, right? And and I was my snarky, shitty self, of course, but reached out to me, and it's like, hey, listen, you were an asshole. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of what I do. Sorry, I sometimes the dark passenger just steers the ship, right?
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, you've been there, right? And sometimes it's like, what? Maybe I wasn't the best version of myself, and maybe the way I was acting wasn't the best way to change minds and hearts. Maybe I was, and I feel like that's a lot of us, right? It's just which I'm trying to get out of the habit. I still do it sometimes, right? But it's like, maybe not harass, maybe try to educate, but he reached out to me, and he's like, listen, he's like, I went so hard at you against about Medicare for all. He's like, but my father was diagnosed with cancer, and I watched it devastate both his savings and my savings. and it really did dawn on me how horrible and evil the system in which we all live in is. And and
Yeah.
obviously I wasn't shitty about that. I was I
Yeah.
tried to be very kind. I mean, although I don't know, there's been times in my life where I've been like, man, I really nailed that. I was really, really a good guy there. And then people are like, dude, that guy's such a smug piece of shit, right?
Right.
Where it's just like, I don't even, sometimes I don't even know how I come across, man. Like I thought, like I nailed that, and then people just, what a cunt, right? But right, but it was like, it's just like, yeah, man, it's awful. It is. We live in an evil system, and people are waking up to it because people are suffering in it. We're all suffering in it, and so when you're like, if you don't have, if all you have is socialism and it's scary, they want to do socialist things, right? But you can't name it, and you can't call it out and explain what it is they're doing that's so bad, right? Versus your opponent who's like, I want to, make healthcare free. I want to make it easier for you to get education. I want to lower the price of your groceries, right? It's just you aren't going to win, and that's what you're seeing. People, just these, a lot of these centrist Democrats who just don't have a fucking leg to stand on, right? And then so they just, the only move that they got is fucking fearmonger, and they're just spamming it, right? You saw that with Andrew Cuomo in the fucking mayoral election, right? Where he's just
Yeah.
Hassan. How many times did this guy say Hassan Piker? How many times
Right.
did this guy just, he said America deserved 9/11, Meanwhile, cut to Zoran and he's just like, yeah, so I want to fucking arrest Netanyahu. I want to fucking, we're gonna
Yeah.
make fucking, universal pre-K, baby. We're gonna, what I'm saying? We're gonna,
Right.
and like, it just, you can't, if you cut to your enemy and they're fucking Mr. Rogers and they're promising you that we're just going to make things nice and good like they should be, right? And then you just go like, the world's going to end if we elect them. You're like,
Yeah. Because most people listening to that were probably like, I don't know who the fuck Hassan Piker is, but I like this, this Zoran kid. Like,
and a lot of people, like, because I watch a decent amount of Hassan, right? And there's a lot of people who, like, real straight up, it's like, man, I came to your stream because people were like talking about you like you were the devil, and then I listened to you talk for like an hour, and I was like, this guy just sounds like a good dude, know? Like,
he gets that so often.
Did you see that there's this guy who did these two different documentary where the first one he interviewed like Asmund Gold fans, and then the second one he interviewed Hassan Piker fans, and all the Asmund Gold fans were like fucking like living in their basement like psychopaths, and then all the Hassan fans were just like, yeah, I'm just like barely politically active.
Right.
I'm just like a normal person with a normal job, and I just, am just even the slightest amount of online.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because the thing is, Hassan, I think not only self-evidently knows what he's talking about, but like people act like he's just some asshole fucking saying shit. And it's like, no, that's us. But like Hassan is like, Hassan like has a fucking political science degree. It's like he's worked in media forever. He has had jobs in like or internships at least in like, some political realm. And it's like, what are we fucking talking about? Asmund Gold is a fucking World of Warcraft streamer who like lives in filth.
Lives in filth. I mean, I think you could make a case that he is. I think that there is a strong likelihood that he is getting legitimate like checks from. Like he is allowed himself to become a psyop. I think he started out as just a World of Warcraft guy, but I think that, very much the same way that I feel like it happened with Joe Rogan, right? Joe Rogan used to like interview Bernie Sanders, right? He used to like, have like a free marketplace of ideas. But then like you find out that like, oh, like Hassan tried to get on Joe Rogan. It's like, oh, he hasn't like put Bernie Sanders back on in a minute, right? Like he's,
Kyle
what I'm saying?
Kalinske used to be like fairly frequent guest. Like that
And
hasn't
then
happened in years. Yeah.
and then got cut out, right? But anybody far right, anybody who is, wants to, spin scary stories about how immigrants are coming to fucking take your fucking lunch,
Yeah.
you get
And
to.
also the like billionaire class. I will say I'll give him credit for having James Tallarico on recently. I'm not the
Oh, really?
biggest
I didn't even know
Tallarico
that.
fan, but like that's like that's something.
I think
Um,
that you gotta grade it on the Texas curve. I think, Tallarico as a politician, he's fine. He's
right,
fine.
yeah,
He's a moderate Democrat, right? But for fucking Texas, dude, this guy is a fucking dude. This
yeah,
guy is Fidel Castro of
yeah,
Texas,
yeah.
man. He is,
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad it's him rather than Jasmine Crockett or Beto
yeah,
O'Rourke or whatever.
yeah,
And I guess Joe Rogan lives in Texas now, so that's one reason you'd have him on.
yeah.
But also, yeah, it's like the fucking like the Peter Thiel associates and the
Hmm.
fucking like CIA agents he fucking has on that show all the time now. It's like, dude, what happened to you? I like
Hmm.
I used to, I don't think I ever like fully agreed with him. I had my like libertarian phase when I was a bit younger, but like there was always like plenty of points of agreement with Joe
Hmm.
Rogan. And I just found him like a fascinating guy. And he would just have like
Hmm.
these random fucking interesting people on his show.
Hmm.
These guys would just be like, I hunt elk with my bare hands or whatever. Like, it's just like, yeah, this is cool, man. Like, and Joe Rogan would like now and then he'd go off, he'd be like, yeah, why shouldn't we have like Medicare for all? And like, like,
Hmm.
why are the police treating kids this way when they protest, whatever, and it's like, just, yeah, there's like something that happens to people when they get old, I guess, and they don't have like a coherent worldview, but like, yeah, it's really weird. Like you're fucking in league with the CIA, dude, and then he has like JD Vance on his show, and he's talking about like the powerful are doing this and that, and it's like, bro, you
Yeah.
have the vice president on your show, and you agree with him on everything.
Oh, okay. D2A wants to know libertarian
Oh,
like Ron Paul or libertarian like Vosh?
oh, literally Ron Paul. Like I didn't know about this was. I don't know if Vosh was a known entity at
Is
all.
Vosh? I don't know much about Vosh. Is
Well,
he
I'll get
left
into
or
Vosh in a minute,
libertarian?
but
Okay.
um, literally Ron Paul. I'm talking 2012 election. I registered Republican to vote for Ron Paul in the primaries. But
That would have been better than what we got.
yeah, yeah, that would have at least been interesting. Like a
Yeah.
conversation between Obama and Ron Paul could actually be like,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, I want to hear what you guys have to say.
I also
But
always wondered like what happened in Rand Paul's childhood for the amount like the Riz deficit, right? Because like Ron Paul had Riz, and Rand Paul just
yeah,
runs at a Riz deficit, just an insane Riz deficit. It is.
yeah, he's also like, he's a little bit like with on the libertarian side when it comes to war and shit, and but like he is just kind of a Republican sycophant like the rest of them in
Yeah.
most cases. And
Ron
Ron
Paul.
Paul was actually like, yeah, like he walked the walk. you know?
Yeah, he was proper crazy, and I do as somebody who is proper crazy, I do appreciate proper crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're gonna
Well,
say you're gonna get into Vosh?
yeah. So Vosh, I was a big fan of Vosh for a couple of years at least.
Hmm.
Probably like maybe a little bit pre-pandemic, but definitely like pandemic. And I'm, it's pandemic's still happening, but we don't talk about
Yeah,
that. But yeah,
it's a cold pandemic. We're in a
right,
cold,
right.
you know,
Like a
back
Cold
when the
War, yeah.
pandemic was still hot. Yeah, it's the Cold War of pandemics, right?
Yeah.
But okay, but when
But
we
yeah,
were
2020,
fighting
I
the
was
war,
walking
yeah,
around my
2020,
apartment.
2021, right?
Yeah, and I'm wandering my apartment listening to Vosh and shit. And yeah, I think I learned a lot about socialism from him, and some of it I had to unlearn, but
Hmm.
he I I think was coming from an earnest place in some cases,
Hmm.
or for a while at least. And then, you know, it just, he got to this weird point where he kept like, you know, just almost to just to be contrarian. It's like his chat would be oh, Joe Biden sucks and he's going to be terrible and whatever. And then
Mhm.
Vosh would be like, no, I like, no, like, I think Joe Biden's the best way to advance our cause. And I'm officially calling myself an anarcho Bidenist and shit. And then like
Yeah.
did the same thing with like NATO, and he was defending NATO. And it's like, bro, like, are you really a socialist? Are you really a libertarian anarchist? Like, and he just like, he kind of went off the deep end a little
Can you get outed
politically.
for like being into like lolly like type stuff, right? Like
Right. See, that's the thing is
that's
like
like
that.
the one thing I really know about Vosh.
Yeah,
Is
that was
like
his
he's
real
like
downfall, was like, politically he went off the deep end. It just became clear he didn't really know what he was talking about. But then, yeah, he was caught with he accidentally opened a folder on his computer during a
Mhm.
stream that was like, yeah, lolly, or sort of hentai that's like girls meant to look young or something, just like really
Yeah.
creepy shit that it's like, bro, now I'm like, I hear people like now and then still be like, no, I like Vosh, like other creators and stuff. I'm like, yeah, Vosh is cool. I'm like, what are you talking about? Did you not hear? Like, what are we doing? It's like how people still fuck with Destiny. I'm like, dude, he's on trial for fucking revenge porn of a minor. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Like, Destiny is like the
Yeah.
people who defend Destiny, it's like that guy is legitimately evil. Like that guy,
Yeah.
like here's the thing, like here's the thing, like if Hassan Piker like did like half the shit that like Destiny does, like think about like because I kind of went down the rabbit hole because there was that whole thing where Hassan spoke at that college Democrats conference, right? And Destiny tried to just January 6th it and fucking got
Right.
turned away at the door and shit, and then made
Right.
like a big thing, and then
His
they
little
found like all
psycho
these streams.
fans were like live
Yeah,
streaming themselves,
all of
inciting
his
like,
literal
yeah.
sycophants, like fucking,
Right. And then they're all pissy that they got kicked out. And it's like, dude, you put yourself on your own live stream camera going,
yeah.
oh, what if we fucking incite a riot or whatever stupid
Yeah,
shit you said? Like,
what if he like can't even do his speech and he has to like
yeah,
run for fear of his life, and it's just,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
dude, like
Like Destiny's out
I
there
would have
going, like,
agreed with if Andrew Cuomo, if Hassan had done that shit, I would have agreed with Andrew Cuomo on him, like,
right, that would be a
you
little
know what I'm
more, yeah.
saying?
But yeah,
You know?
it's like Destiny is out there. Like whenever Hassan or Mike from PA come up, it's like, he's talking about they should kill themselves, or like it would be justified for someone to go out and kill them. Like it's like,
Assassinate them, yeah, like
dude,
calling for the
like,
assassination of people.
yeah, it's
Like,
nuts. And it's like,
I
yeah,
don't like Asmongold, but I don't think like he should be unalived. Like
no,
I think
no.
you know what I'm saying. Like, I think he should be deplatformed. Yeah,
I,
probably because
I
some of
think
his
that guy
radical, hateful
needs,
stances.
yeah, that guy needs help. He needs a
He should
fucking
be. I mean,
therapist. Like,
if you want to talk about like maybe forced bathing, right? Then I would be in favor of
yes,
forced bathing for Asmongold, right? But
yeah,
but
yeah.
I would not ever get on stream and or be in a Discord server just being like, you would be completely justified in murdering this
Right.
guy in public, if you know what I'm saying. Like, just
Right.
like
I
fuck
mean,
off,
because,
fuck.
but that's the thing that people need to understand about socialism. Frankly,
Mhm.
it's like we want people to get better. Like
Yeah,
I don't want to like hurt Asmongold. He's hurting himself. You don't live in
yeah.
filth like that unless you've got like deep fucking shit going on.
Hmm.
And like that's not like it's not impossible to turn that around. But like, I know he's a millionaire. He could just get himself help, but he doesn't. You know, he would need some prodding, and it's just
I don't know if his Israeli handler would allow him. Anyway, just
yeah,
look
well.
at being smelly is part of his brand now. It's just sorry, you know, you cannot take the shower, my friend. You know, it is not that time of the month. Okay. So we're coming in on an hour and a half of this. I do want to spend a little bit of time. Let's talk about AI. Let's talk about AI movies. Okay. So I couldn't find. I could not find like anything like a decent clip, like audio clip of this. Right. This is the best I could find. So
Okay. Oh, the Odyssey, right?
So the Odyssey came out last weekend. Huge movie. I wanted to go see it in Providence. I haven't seen it yet because of, you know, this being, the family reunion hanging over my head for 9 months, right? You know, and like, oh, that's the Odyssey weekend. It's like, oh, you're taking me off the chessboard the weekend the Odyssey drops, my love. You know, like, this is how I know I love you, because I did not cancel your family reunion to go see the Odyssey, but I wanted to see it in 70 millimeter next weekend. It is pretty much sold out. The only spots open were the very front of IMAX 70 millimeter. I'm not going to sit in the first 3 rows of IMAX,
that's a little much.
I look at the following weekend already filling up in IMAX 70 millimeter in Providence, Rhode Island, an hour-ish south of where I live, right? And I want to see it in 70 millimeter, right? But I gave up on that plan. It's just clear that that's just not in the cards for me, right? So I'm going to be seeing it in Dolby Digital late on Saturday, because that was the only showing that had like any decent seats, like where I like to sit, right? And I am a picky little bitch. Right. If I will not see a movie. I will straight up not see a movie if I don't like I'm a big guy. If I don't like the seats, right? If it's a theater I know the seats suck, right? Yeah. Or if it's just like, too close to the front, whatever, right? Not gonna see it, right? Or if it's like just like a pocket in the back and I'm like all the way in the far right, right? It's like, right? And so, but that is how successful the Odyssey is, right? That you cannot literally Wednesday night was looking at showtimes, like, oh, maybe I'll see it in IMAX. Oh, this IMAX theater is like almost fully sold out. Oh, this IMAX theater is like Assembly Row, South Bay, right? All of the big, Boston Common, right? All of the big IMAX theaters, it's huge, which is funny, right? Because for months and months and months, Elon Musk and a bunch of, right, including Asmongold, right, we're talking about how the Odyssey is going to be a historic flop, right? Which nobody ever thought. Nobody
I can't believe they're still doing this shit, dude. Like,
I know, right? so here we are, right? And so Elon Musk is promised that Grok will be making, there will be a Grok version of the Odyssey, and it's going to be historically accurate, aka white. And so
this comes after Musk criticized
this
is
the Matt Damon version.
Helen of Troy,
and so here's some of the AI versions, right?
Greek epic
so
that released just last week.
And
Musk promised the AI-generated feature film would be done by the end of the year. And for reference,
these are some still shots from this, right?
2 years.
And I wish I could, dude. I wish I could fucking. Oh, hey, that's us. Oh no! It's a screen within a screen. Oh my god, it's Inception. We're talking about the Odyssey. We ended up in Inception, but yeah. So
Christopher Nolan,
baby. But and I wish I could have found a decent clip with some of like the audio from there, because it had that really rough AI dialogue, just like the tech. I'm sorry, man. The technology is just not there yet, man. Like it's just awkward.
I just like, I mean, maybe it's gonna be there at some point, but I just feel like there's just it's never gonna quite be the same as like actors in a room talking to each other. Like that's, You know, that's why humans watch shit, is because it's other humans. Like that.
Yeah.
That's been driving me crazy. Like, especially on mobile games, I am getting so many AI ads where like it's a person like using a product or telling me like, in my experience, this has fucking worked better than any. I'm like, you're not real. Why are you telling me this?
Yeah.
Show me like a person using the goddamn product on a real like house or whatever it is. Like,
I'd rather the person who typed in the prompt just film themselves on the phone talking.
Yes,
like that shit, right? So anyway, so I was searching for a clip of the Odyssey, right, to show on this podcast, right? And I couldn't really find anything that like I really liked or like that would look good like on stream, right? And so what I found instead, and I'm going to show this in a second, although real quick detail, I was angry at all white Germanic types needed more swarthy Southern European types. Yeah, it's just
that's
weird.
The thing is like. It's not like, you know, fucking England where the Odyssey was happening. Like,
it's like why does this like look like what Hollywood would have casted the story with in like the 1940s, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like anyway. So what I did find though is that Neil Blomkamp, the director of District 9 and Chappie and a bunch of other stuff, right? But District 9 is like the big one, right? And didn't he do, was it Elysium, right, with Matt Damon, funny enough, right? So Neil Blomkamp has created an AI like movie studio, and he has released his first short film, and I thought we could watch that.
Okay.
And cringe at that together. Because and we can see, you know, just we can weigh in on, does this work as a movie? All right, you ready for this?
All right.
This is called Nightborn, a Neil Blomkamp sci-fi film, fully AI, 4K in parentheses. Ready?
First shot, not looking too bad.
Like, I've covered some shit in my career.
Yeah, I could believe
this
that.
This is beyond anything. This is beyond Black Ops, off the books.
This is the worst.
Yeah, this is the fucking worst. 3 weeks ago, drives started arriving. No name, no note, just files. The first batch looked like nothing. Surgical logs, procurement, casualty paperwork, dry stuff. Then one name on 2 documents. Killed in action in March, on an operating table in August, same man. I thought, clerical error. Then the recordings. 60 hours.
Who's he
talking to a camera. And that's when the documents stopped being paperwork and started being what they are.
Like, you needed AI to just get like just
right. It's a guy talking. Like,
why does the Army want this? Simple. What ends American wars? Not the enemy. Dead soldiers on the news. Coffins come home, the public turns, the war ends.
So like right there, right? Let's just pause, right? So like AI actors suck.
Yeah.
Like there is yet to be a good quality AI actor performance. It's
it's just, you know, like it's you know, it's been said plenty of times, but it's like the people using AI this way and like, you know, telling us that it's going to be able to do this as good or better than regular filmmaking are not creative people. They are not people who understand like why art.
I mean,
resonates.
Neil Blomkamp, he is a creative person. Like, he's a very creative guy, you know. I mean, like, even like his failures have been at least interesting. Like Chappie was I didn't see it, but the trailers made it look very interesting.
Yeah,
I admittedly
really.
haven't seen. I don't think I've seen any. I never saw District 9, which I know is like his masterpiece.
Yeah, I never saw. I've always wanted to see that. For some reason, never got around to it.
Actually, D2A, actually, the Iranian Lego AI is dope, and I actually now finally we found something that us and D2A can agree is just the way that they are just using AI to just.
Yeah, that was very funny.
It was very good, very good. Okay, you cooked with that one, but yeah. So it's just, but that like nothing that we just saw is better than if you had just cast, like, even if you would cast like rough actors in there.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, at the very least, you could have just had them do the whole speech with no cuts, because there were very clear cuts, because you were unable to get that AI actor to say all of that shit in a row in one prompt, right? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you ran out of Claude tokens, and
Yeah. I would rather watch like Neil Breen's entire filmography in one sitting. Like I would watch the Star Wars prequels 18 times over, like even with the shitty green screen settings. It's like, show me fucking people talking. Why do I give a shit that this like fucking computer man is like, oh, this shit's crazy, dude. Like, okay, fuck you.
First
I
the
don't
files
care.
came in, and they were crazy, and we got and then it just cut to the man, just okay, and just you know, it's like the worst. It's just I don't know, man. Anyway, let's keep going. Now we get to the action.
Hey, it's me. You're probably out with Sam by now. I just wanted to leave you something before I go up. It's stupid. I just wish I was home 3 a.m. here, but I miss you. Kiss that little gorgeous nugget for me.
Talking about his penis?
Last night, one of our convoys got ambushed at the river crossing. 2 soldiers hit. Ramos isn't going to make it.
Shit, he was on Johnson's team. He's like 23.
You're going up, insurgent hunting. Last night they came out to do this. Now they're in the open, running east along the river with nowhere to hide. First clear shot we've had, and it's gone by sunrise. Questions?
No, sir.
Wow, I can feel the tension.
Yeah, absolutely.
You look like hell, Chief.
Yeah, maybe, but you actually smell like shit. When'd you last shower?
This is a combat zone, not a spa. You get the full picture in there?
Our guys got hit last night by the river.
Hollis.
2 wounded.
Hollis, you still owe me $40 from the fight.
Put it on my tab, Craigs.
Your tab's longer than my deployment.
Number 1 coming up. Temps look good.
You cried about that engine for a week.
I raised a concern.
You cried like a little bitch. Congo base, Arrow 24, flight of 2,
I love all
request departure south.
Arrow 24.
I gotta say, I really love all the dead stares. I love that, like the eyes never focus on any one thing. The eyes are always just forward. It's just, you know, like it's just glassy eyed, blank stare. You know, like,
it's so disgusting. I really hate it.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. Why couldn't you just? I mean, I guess like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. We can talk more about it when we finish.
Wind 270 at 8. No traffic, cleared to depart.
You probably could have just used like unused footage from one of your movies for this.
Right.
Arrow 24, Dark Star.
Why are they so low?
Weapons free, hunting. Report Talbot.
You're searching
Dark
for
Star, I'm
something.
just scanning the terrain here. I have some technicals ahead, over.
Arrow 24, you are cleared hot.
Oh, hell yeah, Islamophobia. Nice, Neil.
At least AI can handle that.
Those trucks say Toyota.
Yeah.
Love that he used AI to like make things we already have and we've already seen.
Right. Yeah.
I got vehicles moving east.
Dagger 3-6 confirmed. That's them. Cleared hot.
Guns up, coming left. Splash one, seconds breaking west, hellfire. Good impact. 2 down, area clear.
RTB, Route Bravo.
Get it back.
I've got heat.
Missile inbound, deploying flares.
Jesus Christ!
I'm hit tail gun, Mayday arrow, 24 going down.
She's going down!
Like, I think in like the second dude role, I think like if you just cast John Bernthal, like him scream, "We're going down," you know, doing the Shane from Walking Dead voice, just
Yeah.
you know, just he would have been so good.
You know,
He would've been
sound like a person who's like in a precarious situation.
Yeah, you know, and just how it's like you used AI and you used it to create a flat actress. We have so many of those in real life. You know,
Right.
it's like, why are you using you have like this? That's the thing that like annoys me, right? Like everybody who's like, you know, created something like, you know, like what Darren Aronofsky, right, did that whole like, you know, Revolutionary War 1776 series, right? And it was like Benjamin Franklin and George Washington and all this AI shit, right?
Okay.
And it's like, why are you have this technology, right, that can like create like shit we've never seen before. I've seen some impressive AI stuff, right? I've seen like people like try to like, oh, look at this whale attack, right? Where like a bunch of people are like dancing on a boat and then like a whale comes up and like, you know, bites the thing in half, right? Where for a second I'm like, holy shit, that's horrifying. Is that real?
Right.
And then I like, oh no, this is AI shit, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or like, I'm sorry, when I'm searching on porn sites, like just some of the there's some real innovation going on there with penises on things that, you know, may or may not normally have penises on them, right? Like that is at least it's like at least imagination was involved here, right? But it's just like, why are you like you are using this cutting edge, state of the art, inevitable, as some people say, technology, and you are the first thing you're putting out is something that I have seen a million fucking times, man.
Right.
And
Yeah.
And far better done than here. This is a poor version of stuff I have already seen, you know?
Right. Like even as like a leftist, like I'll watch some fucking like war movie or action movie that's like, we're gonna get the fucking terrorists, man. I'm like, cool, whatever. Like and it's like, yeah, like this is just that, but bad.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm a leftist, right? But one of my favorite anime is My Hero Academia, which is like, yeah, it's cop high school, hell yeah, you know, it's cops just want to do good things and they want to, you know, you know, there's just villains who want to disrupt society, right? They don't get really too deep into the, you know, the context of, you know, anyway, so. Let's just keep watching.
Mayday 24 destroyed.
The back half of this better have like a cool alien.
Yeah.
Please.
Dark Star, Jolly 5-1, we got it. Coming about now. Y'all tell them to hang on. We're 8 minutes out.
Right? Like that should have just been John Bernthal.
Okay, shut us down. We can get to him.
We got Apache down. Pilot and co-pilot
Apache. You can't even fucking say it right.
Move to the wreck. Watch the rounds. Ammo's cooking! Oh, man, this co-pilot is dead. Copy, get her out. Move fast. We're bleeding fuel, and we have hostiles coming.
Be advised, multiple technicals moving your direction from the northeast. Estimated 3 to 4 vehicles, mounted heavy weapons.
I think her neck is broken. Let's secure! Let's go, man!
Man, I just want to go back. Look at just the dead-eyed stare, dude, on this guy as he shoots the gun. Dude. Like, just
engage!
We're clear.
Let's get the fuck out of here! I'm getting too old for this bullshit!
We're just doing lethal weapon.
Yeah, I'm getting too old for this bullshit. It's just you're using the technology that steals other people's shit, and you're just using it to show us stuff that we have seen done far better, Neil. Like, what are you doing, man? You know? Like, show me something new.
She's my buddy's wife. Oh, shit. Well, I think she's gonna make it, so that's good. How long to base?
15 mics.
This is Chief Warrant Officer Raiden Hollis, 34. Helicopter pilot shot down 2 hours ago. Fractured cervical spine, collapsed lung.
Cervical.
Mind your neck. The brain's still getting blood. That's the only window we get.
She's still perfusing. GCS-3.
Yeah, it
Cheers.
really
Get the
can't do
suit off. All
dialogue.
of it.
Her file says killed in action. Certificate's already filed.
That's correct. It was a post-crash fire. Her remains were unrecoverable. That's the
Is
record.
this the lady who was in the
Understand?
flaming helicopter crash?
Show me the brainstem and the C-spine.
Like,
Any bleed at the
she's-
base? Midline slip?
She's like mostly okay.
Face is clean.
Hooray.
Her family gets this. Okay, this is the control implant. It seats at the brainstem, right where the brain meets the spine. Easy, easy, gentle.
Easy, easy, gentle. Project Nightborn.
just the fucking, just look at this extra, this extra right here. Just this guy. Just the way that he looks. What?
What do you? Don't look at the camera, man.
Yeah.
A soldier that costs nothing to lose.
I also love, right, that like this is there are some distinct differences between this woman's face from like the pre-scenes and the helicopter now, right?
Yeah.
Where even the AI can't really like keep track of exactly how she looked, right? Like they recast the actress in this photo, you know?
Yeah, it's like when they
I
recast
wanna know what
after
actually
the
happened
pilot.
to my wife.
Mm-hmm.
A friend came to see me. He was on the rescue that night. He told me she was alive when they pulled her out of that cockpit. Well, I can tell you with certainty that your friend is mistaken. Nate, what's really going on?
This is about the fact that my wife didn't die the way you all say she did.
My wife didn't
That's
die.
what this is about!
The Army wanted no residual self, no sense of who or what they were before. A total wipe.
Do you remember your name? Your name is Regan Hollis. Do you remember that? Raise your left arm. Good. Now the other one.
It took me
Higher.
3 weeks to say the sentence out loud. They are building zombies.
Why?
And the raw material is their own soldiers.
Why would they do that?
seen the surgical orders. Some of them were modified further. This isn't a soldier anymore, it's a killing machine. It used to be someone's son.
This is what Captain America would actually be like.
Yeah.
I don't like transporting these fucking things, man. The sooner they're off my butt, the happier I am.
Before they tuned whatever they tuned, compliance they called it. Every one of those things got 2 escorts. Special ops guys, 1 on each arm. So now, yeah, they walk on single file, 1 handler per 20. Easy day.
Get these birds loaded and wheels up in 10. I don't care if they're twitching or not. Keep them moving.
The testing, that's the desert. Restricted airspace, the kind of proving ground where nothing is ever seen.
So to test them against one another?
Yeah, exactly. That's where the selection happens, the part of the tapes I still can't watch.
Look, man, I don't know what information you want. We've been instructed to test these things to the breaking point. And that means make them fight one another.
Why?
Yeah.
Delta team, do you copy? We are hot. We are hot.
So what?
We select for excellence. The most disciplined, most trained, most dedicated soldiers made the finest products.
Turns out you can push them fucking far.
Yeah, it's fine. Go see your kid. I'm sure he'll be happy to see you.
Back when I had a slightly different shaped nose. Yeah, man. This is post-credit scene. Oh shit! Chappie gonna show up on the post-credit.
Nick Fury.
Verse. Based on Nick so like I don't hate this conceptually, like as an idea, right? And you know, if I found out like, oh, you know, that they like storyboarded, like they did live action, right? And they, you know what I'm saying, like they did a live action version of this, right? And they storyboarded it they used this as like a storyboard. Like that's like at least like kind of a cool idea, right? But like literally what holds this back and the worst parts about this are just all of the obvious AI scenes, and like, you know, it's like the AI actors, it's just AI acting is just nowhere close to ready for prime time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is. My cat is on my desk.
Hell yeah.
All right,
yeah.
y'all. So Tim Dillon.
Hi,
yeah, it's yeah. That, I mean, that's like kind of an interesting use for it, is to like do a little proof of concept, for like, you know, if you're gonna make an actual movie, but to release this as like, here, I made it, it's done.
Yeah,
like,
this is the movie, right? It's like, you know, I mean, I think that there's like going to be like a space for artificial intelligence, generative AI, right? Like I think like it's going to very much look at that little baby. Look at that little baby. Hell yeah. Look at that. Look at that thing. You know, I think that there is going to be a space for it. It's just, I do agree with the sentiment that like the technology's here. It's not going anywhere, right? I think it's very much like, you know, Jesus Christ, dude. It's just like, hey, bro, stream over, man.
what did he
You
do?
know? Dude, he took you off the fucking grid. But yeah, so like I think like there is like going to be like a space for it, right? Like I think that there is going to be, like a way that it normalizes in society where it's not super stigmatized, right? I think that maybe like an ethical way of doing it, right? Ideally where the people responsible for the shit that was scooped to actually make the stuff get properly compensated for it, the same way that like people make money off of a song, right? Residuals, right? Like whenever they come up with like a residual system, right, where it's like, okay, like you're an artist, you've authorized us to put your body of work or whatever, right, your shit in the running, right, for or in the tank of like possible AI stuff, right? And anytime your work gets scraped a little bit, right, like there is a machine that tallies up how much of your stuff was used, and then you make residuals based on that, right? And everybody gets paid out a little bit, right? And if your stuff gets used a lot, you make some money off of it, right? Like I think like like that sort of shit, right? Like the same way that we do residuals, the same way that like people whenever they if Kanye West samples a Steely Dan song, right, Steely Dan makes money off of that, right? And like I think there will be in the coming years ethical ways, right? I think like part of the problem, right, is that this technology was just this weird snake oil gold rush type situation where they're like, okay, let's feed as much shit into it as possible, and now we're gonna like sell it to every tech giant, right? And you know what I'm saying? And like,
yeah,
it's this amazing technology even though it's not really there yet, and it's gonna be able to replace a ton of your workers even though it really can't do their jobs yet, right? And it's going to replace actors even though we just saw it can't fucking act yet, right? And but I do think that within the next 10 years, right, it will be normalized to the point where it won't be this, hopefully, this big, hot button issue that it is right now, and it will have found a more, there'll be a more ethical way of doing it, a more democratic way of doing it, right?
Yeah, yeah, and hopefully a less destructive way. Like these fucking data centers, like this is gonna, if anything, it's gonna ignite a revolution in this country. Like everyone hates that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to live near a fucking data center, right? And like, even like the billionaires were like pushing for them. Will like straight up, when asked, you're like, well, yeah, I mean, of course it's bad, but
it's inevitable.
It's not that bad, right? And but it's just like you watch stuff like this, and it's like it's just not fucking ready. It's not, this technology is not ready for prime time yet, right? Like I can't imagine going and paying to watch a movie in theaters. And I think like within the next year, we're gonna see the first example, right? We're gonna see like the first, because like I think like I shudder for the day where an AI movie like tops the box office and makes like a ton of money, because that is gonna be like you know what I'm saying? That is gonna be like a scary moment culturally.
Yeah, yeah. Although, given that Elon Musk said it's going to happen, I assume that means it is not going to happen.
It's true. Yeah. Because, it's in the queue behind Mars. So as soon as we get to Mars, we're getting like AI domination. So.
Oh God, that might be something to bring up on stream at some point. The just complete charlatan lie that is Mars colonization.
Oh, absolutely.
I heard there was an interesting Taylor Lorenz of all people. I mean, I guess she talks about this stuff, but like she interviewed a physicist guy or something, and like it was interesting. They're just talking about why it's like fucking impossible to live on Mars. and maybe even get to Mars. Like I think like maybe we'll put people
like
on
get
Mars,
a person
but
to Mars. Why would you
yeah.
go? Why would people go to Mars? Like I mean, like
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it would be cool. Like it'd be cool to be like there's a person on Mars, but like yeah, I don't know. It's like it is. It's like we can send robots that like if we're gonna fucking use robots and AI and shit, like we can send them to Mars to collect shit. Like I don't know. Like yeah, it's just I don't know. All that shit is stupid. But yeah, the AI thing. It's like yeah, I heard Ben Affleck talk about this actually, and he was saying like yeah, this might find a place in the industry, but it's just not gonna ever replace the way that we're being told it will. Because that's what like I would compare it maybe to the way that a lot of new technologies people would like fearmonger about like recording is going to kill concerts. Like, they literally thought the phonograph was going to kill concerts. And it's like, no, well, obviously not. People go to concerts all the fucking time. But like, yeah, it's the same thing. It's like, okay, we have cars. Are people not going to walk anymore? Like, no, like it's just, yeah. So I think, yeah, it's just hyped. It's just a fucking, market manipulation thing. A lot of the stuff we hear about it,
Yeah, and I mean, and it just like I mean, I don't hate that. Like I don't hate that short film in theory, right? Like I also like I feel like there is like a knee jerk like reaction where you want to just shit on every part of it, right? But conceptually I like that idea. I like the idea like like it's like the government is turning people into zombies, right? Like I could see that being like a very cool, interesting movie. I just hope that it's not a fully AI movie and that fucking you just have that level of AI acting the whole time, because that is unwatchable dog shit, right? Like just the act, like some of the visuals are cool. I think that like if we can get AI to an ethical place, right? I think that the way that AI could really like kind of supplement CGI, right? Very make it cheaper. Make it more realistic, right? Like I don't hate that, as long as we can do that ethically, right? And I don't hate this as a concept. It's really just the people. It's just it can't do people. It can't do people's faces. It can't keep them consistent, right? It can't do voice acting, right? It sticks out like a fucking sore thumb, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. The voiceover shit. It's like, I will, it's ruined a lot of YouTube for me. Like I will see some video that looks cool, start watching it. And I'm like, sometimes I'm on the fence. I'm like, I'm not sure if it's AI, but like, this reminds me of AI and I can't watch this. So
yeah, man. Wait, is it just real quick? Was it let me see. I do want to see actually. Was the voice acting AI or was the voice acting people?
I think it was AI. There was a lot of like, mispronouncing words.
I shared my screen. You want to pull it up? Just because. Okay. Voices and faces are modeled after human actors, but every single one of Nightbourne's shots was made with ByteDance's text-to-video generator. Test started. He wants to demonstrate it and said that he wants to tackle a full feature in this format. Blomkamp seems to think that Nightbourne is strong proof of concept, might get people intrigued to see what he prompts next, but as polished as the film might be compared to most of the AI-generated videos floating around the internet today, still bears many of the hallmarks associated with Slub. Let me see. So yeah, so the voices are. So okay, so the voices were AI. Yeah, it's just. I was like, maybe they got bad actors to dub over it, right? Because it's bad, like the acting is bad, the voice acting is bad, the character facial acting is bad, like
Yeah.
it is, like conceptually I like the idea, and I think you could make like a cool sci-fi war movie based on like government issued zombies, right? But god damn, dude, it is just so not there, man. It is not
Yeah.
fucking there, dude.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, can we wrap it up?
Yeah, I think we're good. Thank you to Dito A, our only commenter for the night. Appreciate you. Love you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll be back. What are we doing Wednesday at 7 or
We should try
7:30?
for Wednesday. I was not feeling well yesterday, and to be honest, I didn't feel great today. But I just had a rough day. So.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
See ya for next week's hell. Next
right.
week we should definitely talk a lot about. That'll be, I think, the last episode that we do before Abdul's election, right?
Yeah.
So we should definitely talk about Abdul next week.
The sexist Islamist.
Yeah, hell yeah. Also, I'm actually going to be canvassing in a couple weeks for Ed Markey's re-election campaign.
Oh yeah, nice.
Just again, I'm not like the biggest fan of Ed Markey. I like Ed Markey, fine, but
yeah, he's kind of a Bernie level, like Warren level.
Yeah, absolutely. He's compromised in ways that are acceptable considering the level to which other people are compromised, mainly Seth Moulton, who is just, I don't care if Ed Markey wins. I just need Seth Moulton to lose. And that is and for that reason, I will canvass for Ed Markey,
Hell yeah.
And then pray that we got a real progressive DSA type person in for the next round. You know what I'm saying? In that spot.
Yeah. I'm surprised he's running again, honestly. Like he
said it'll be his last. He's 80.
Right.
He said it'll be his last. I know. I mean, like I said, I got my misgivings about it, but I just think the alternative is such a bad thing. I want to at least try,
fuck Moulton. Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Fuck
all
Moulton.
Right. See ya.
See ya.